Alright, I received a question. I want to answer that question. He said, what do you think about the Bruce Lee clothing line and apparel? Do you think he would approve of it? Is it morally right, or is it misrepresenting Bruce? What do you think? I'm not familiar with the clothing line, but I'll make my general feedback on that. I think one thing that's important is who's selling the clothing line, and do they have rights to it? You know, if Shannon Lee's the one who's controlling the entire Bruce Lee Foundation, and she has control of his image, and anytime his name is being used, and if she authorized for that clothing line to occur, and you buy it from there, then you're essentially, you're supporting the Bruce Lee Foundation, But if somebody is making money off of Bruce Lee's name, and they're not giving any money to the Bruce Lee Foundation or the Shannon Lee, then there's some problems there, I think one thing you have to think about is who is selling it. Are these people, supporters of Bruce Lee, or are these people enemies of Bruce Lee? You think about it. If you got Bruce Lee's family, Linda Lee, Shannon Lee, Brandon Lee, whoever, and they're selling Bruce Lee's items, in order to contribute to the Bruce Lee Foundation, or, towards continuing on with his legacy, with his work, then you're benefiting Bruce Lee and his estate. But you could also have an enemy who maybe without permission is taking Bruce Lee's things, selling it for a profit in order to benefit themselves. And this is type of plagiarism, copyright violations and piracy, and this happens with all sorts of art and music and movies. You gotta see where the money that you're paying for the products, where is this money going? I think that's an important factor into determining whether or not, you giving your money, is it going towards the right sources? Because you don't want to have haters of Bruce making money off of his things. It's like Linda Lee was married to Bruce, and when he passed away, he might have had a car, a home, clothes, training equipment. She might have sold that stuff, to make money in order to contribute to the Bruce Lee Foundation to continue on with his legacy. Or you could have somebody who goes into his home, steals his stuff, and then sells it to profit for himself. So basically, just because somebody's selling Bruce Lee things doesn't mean that he's truly a disciple, a follower, or a student, or even an admirer of Bruce Lee. This person could literally hate Bruce Lee, but with this hatred, he's stealing Bruce's money and using him for his reputation in order to benefit himself. So that's one aspect to consider. Another aspect is, are you representing Bruce's teachings? Do you even know what Bruce's teachings are? Do you feel that you're symbolizing his teachings? Just think about it like this. Imagine if it was your name, your face, plastered all over the t-shirts. You wouldn't want just anybody wearing those t-shirts, those logos. especially if they're misrepresenting it. You know, a prime example is somebody like Hitler, who was basically misunderstood, you know, Friedrich Nietzsche's teachings, and has just completely destroyed the reputation of Nietzsche's teachings. He used Nietzsche's entire philosophy as the philosophy for the Nazi movement. And that was a complete misunderstanding of Nietzsche's teachings. So what I'm saying is that you wouldn't want people buying Bruce Lee's apparel, having his face on the shirt, using his logo, and then they're like robbing a bank, or they're raping women with the t-shirts on. They're snorting cocaine, and they're committing crimes with the t-shirts on. I mean, that's a complete disrespect to Bruce Lee. You know, and even for me, according to my studies and my understanding of the martial arts, I would find it even offensive for cage fighters and fighters in general to be wearing Bruce Lee's, you know, image and his logo. Or even gangbangers, or, you know, essentially just criminals, like people that, you know, they're just not, they don't really understand Bruce's teachings, they don't know anything about him, and they're just wearing it, you know. I mean, if you read his books, you watch his movies, and you feel a connection with him, and you feel that you want to represent his ways, promote him, then that's one thing. You know, if you really feel that you're representing it, you know, just think about it like this, you know, his image, his logos, his labels that he created, like Jeet Kune Do, like, it's almost like his black belt. He didn't have black belts when he was training, but his black belt's like his image. His black belt is like, you know, his clothing line. Anytime you associate yourself with Bruce Lee, you gotta question yourself: are you worthy of wearing that? You know, like, did you earn the right to wear it? Because normally that's how a martial arts school would go. You know, you earn the right to wear certain things. You know, and I think that's the right way to respect his image, his logo, his creations, his labels that he created. Jeet Kune Do, you know, the Jeet Kune Do label, or the Jeet Kune Do logo, and Bruce Lee's image. You know, like, do you even know what the yin yang means? You know, of what she created, or which he put in his logo, and the arrows that go around the yin yang. Do you know what that means? The Chinese characters that go around the yin yang. Do you know what it means? Like, using no limitation as limitation. Do you know what that means? Do you even know what Jeet Kune Do means? Do you even know that it means the way of the intercepting fist? Like, what do you know about Bruce Lee? Like, the more you know about him, and the more you get deep into his philosophy, and you feel like you want to represent that, then, you know, wearing his apparel, having his logo, having his image, it's like you're representing it. You know, you're representing it good. But you don't want people misrepresenting his stuff, you know. You know, he was all about fitness, but then if there's a bunch of unfit people wearing his stuff, it's not a good image. You know, he was about the real martial arts. You know, he said in his movies, in his interviews, in his books, like, no rules, anything goes. So, are you representing that? He wasn't a boxer. So if you're a boxer, then why you wearing Bruce Lee stuff? Like, maybe you should look at Mike Tyson, Mayweather, Muhammad Ali. Those are boxers. But Bruce Lee was a martial artist. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're like loyal to Bruce Lee, then why would you be promoting, like, why would you be practicing karate or something like that, or jujitsu? I mean, like, to me, it's a conflict of interest. Even Jesus would say you can't serve two masters at the same time or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, for me, like if you're really connected to Bruce, then you should represent, and I just don't get it when people, just, it's like one day they're wearing a karate uniform, next day they're wearing a kung fu uniform, day after that they're wearing a taekwondo uniform, and it's just like people just jumping around everywhere trying to promote everything. And it's just like, how can you promote everything? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get to know yourself and what you like, and like, find people of whom you truly connect with. Through time, it'll show you, like, who are the real followers of Bruce Lee. Like, who are the ones that are really loyal to his teachings. I think that's pretty much what it boils down to. Like, knowing what you're representing and putting forth effort to represent that. Out of respect. And then knowing wherever this apparel is coming from, is your money going towards the benefit of Bruce Lee's legacy? Or is it going towards his enemies and his haters, of which they're trying hard to destroy his legacy and his reputation? You don't want to get involved with that. I see that when people are representing Bruce, you're representing something different. You're not representing the cage fighting, the MMA. They got their logos, the tap out thing, and Sprawl, and MMA logos, and the cage as their symbol, and the boxers got their symbols, they got their gloves, they got their headgear, they got their mouth guard, they got their boxing shorts. But Bruce Lee had his symbols. He had the yin yang, the Chinese characters, using no limitation as limitation. He had Jeet Kune Do, the label. He had his own unique way of styling the martial arts and what he chose to wear. He was the one who made the wife beater popular, for people to wear, in that yellow jumpsuit and the nunchucks, and like his special vocals. Like, Bruce Lee is different than representing MMA, representing judo, karate, jujitsu, taekwondo. I mean, representing Bruce Lee is completely different than all of that. And if you're gonna be loyal to Bruce Lee's ways and you're gonna represent him, then represent it, fully. Don't just, be like just shallow about it, and you just be like, oh, I'm gonna put on this Bruce Lee shirt today, and then tomorrow I'll put on the Brock Lesnar, and then the day after that I'm gonna put on the Frank Shamrock, and then after that I got a Steven Seagal shirt, and then after that I got Jean-Claude Van Damme, and now I got a Jackie Chan shirt, and then now I got, you know, it's just like, to me, that it doesn't show loyalty. You know, if you're a Sifu running a martial arts school and you got, you know, students that are just going to all these different schools, it's like, where's their energy? Their energy is dispersed to everything, and they barely got any energy left for your school. It's like, you don't need, you know, these people ain't loyal students. You know what I mean? Like, every Sifu is looking for loyal students. Students that are gonna put energy into their school so they could grow as one. You know, and it shouldn't be that anybody could wear it, but they're trying to profit off of it, so they can't put restrictions. Anybody could buy a Bruce Lee poster, anybody could buy a Bruce Lee t-shirt and have Bruce Lee statues, but what we got to do is put our own limitations and make it so then we earn the right to represent Bruce's way, just as if we were attending his school under his guidance as a Sifu, and then he tells us, hey, you know, you're doing a great job, and I want you to represent my way, my school, and here's your, you know, your uniform, or your t-shirt, or your tank top, you know, or here's your certificate. I want you to continue on with my teachings, you know. And, you know, anytime you wear Bruce's apparel, it's a way to connect with other martial artists that have been inspired by him. It's kind of like inner secret language among martial artists that kind of draw one another towards each other in order to identify, you know, the real from the false. You know, when you see people wearing MMA apparel, as far as me, I know to stay away. But if I see somebody wearing Bruce Lee apparel, I know that, hey, you know, this person, we might see eye to eye in many things. It's a way to communicate with other people, you know, that might share your vision. You know, so only the right people should be wearing the apparel. But this is something where we gotta set our own limitations. You know, and you'll never see me rocking MMA apparel. Never. And, you know, I'll stay completely far away from that. You'll never see me wearing a gi with a black belt or a taekwondo uniform. I mean, that's not what I'm representing. Not at all. You know, and that's why I feel that people that hate Bruce Lee, that don't even care about him, that don't know anything about his teachings, they shouldn't really be wearing his apparel, because they don't know what, you know, what it's even symbolizing. It's like somebody who's not even Christian or Catholic, but then they're wearing a cross and don't even know what the hell it is or what it's supposed to represent. You know what I mean? Like, once you choose to represent something, you should know the meaning behind it, and you should put an effort to try to live up to the standard of what that's supposed to symbolize. You know. So, that's my thoughts on it. And Shannon Lee, she's the one who's controlling the Bruce Lee Foundation. Like I said in the other video, I just hope that she puts in her greatest effort to keep his teachings as pure as possible, so then his legacy can continue in a positive way. And it's up to us individuals to represent it properly. Because even though he's not physically here, spiritually he's here. His teachings are here. His image is here. And it's up to us to live up to a higher standard within the martial arts. Something beyond, the violence that we see in combat sport, but something beyond that, and something that's truly, to the highest level in all aspects of body, mind, and spirit. And like he would say, in his logo, on his gravestone, having no limitations. And combat sport is engulfed in an immense amount of limitations. So we need to head towards the truth, which is beyond the limits, and practice the real martial arts. So I feel that people that want to wear his apparel should be individuals that wish to represent the real martial arts. And people that want to do the combat sport should stay away from his apparel and wear what they should be wearing, promoting what they want to promote. May it be Muay Thai, Taekwondo, Karate, MMA, boxing, wrestling. Those are different things. When you talk about real martial arts, it's in a whole different category. And Bruce Lee was one of the individuals representing that category. And if you're a supporter of Bruce, if you're a student of Bruce, if you're a disciple of Bruce, then you would represent it, with integrity.